Alrighty then. So, didn't quite get around to finishing DLC for D2. But obviously this has really isn't going to impact our Inquisition playthrough, so I'm not overly worried about it. Might get around to going back just recording the last bit of that for YouTube later and adding it on. Yeah, after the string cache, it just doesn't really feel like being worth it to go back and finish that for something that's not going to impact the game. Or we just get rolling on Inquisition and move forward. So, with that in mind, let's do our recap of the story so far. And get things rolling. So, wrong thing.
If you believe the stories, mankind's pride gave rise to the Darkspawn. Countless in number and toxic to all life, Darkspawn search endlessly for an archdemon. When they find one, Darkspawn armies surge up from their corrupt barrows beneath the ground, and a blight begins. Grey Wardens are the only warriors capable of destroying an archdemon, and history always honors the one who sacrifices all to kill the beast. In the fifth blight, the Warden was the hero of Ferelden, a hunter from a clan of Dalish elves. The hero discovered a corrupted elven artifact and was tainted by the same foul magic that drives the Darkspawn. The only cure for the young elf was to join Duncan as a Grey Warden. The allied Ferelden and Grey Warden forces met in Ostagar, where King Kaelin's armies and a host of wardens gathered, ready to destroy the Darkspawn. But valor turned to despair as Loghain betrayed his king. Kaelin's forces were slaughtered, and the south was lost. The hero, now a full-fledged Grey Warden, survived with the aid of Flemeth, the mysterious witch of the wilds. Joined by Flemeth's daughter, Morrigan, and a Grey Warden named Alistair, the hero set out to build an army strong enough to abolish the Blight. With the traitorous Loghain now seated on Ferelden's throne, the Warden sought help from the influential Arl Eamon of Redcliffe. However, they arrived in Redcliffe to find the town under siege. As each night, undead rose in waves and assailed the battered village. With the hero's help, the people of Redcliffe stood fast against the undead horde. The Wardens reached Arl Eamon's castle only to find the Arl lying at the edge of death, and his court fallen into madness. To save his father's life, Eamon's young son, Connor, had made a deal with a demon, and quickly fallen victim to its possession. The hero intervened, freeing Connor from possession, and breaking the demon's hold over Redcliffe. But deals with demons are never straightforward. The demon agreed only to save Eamon's life, not restore him to health. Arl Eamon needed a miracle to recover. The hero located an urn containing the sacred ashes of Andraste, which were said to cure any ailment. The urn was protected by ancient traps, tests of will, and a dragon-worshipping cult that wanted to twist the urn's power to its own ends. The urn remained pure, but mysteriously disappeared after the Wardens departed. Only the temple dedicated to it still stands. With a pinch of the ashes, the hero restored the Arl to health. Informed of Loghain's treachery, Eamon swore his political and military support. The circles of Magi are bound by oath to aid the Grey Wardens in times of blight. However, Lake Calenhad's tower could offer little help. One of its mages, Uldred, had become possessed by a pride demon and was twisting other circle mages into abominations. The hero fought to the top of the tower and defeated Uldred, saving the remaining mages. Grateful for their lives, the mages joined the Warden's army. The allies gained at the Circle were not the only soldiers to join the Warden's forces, however. Dalish elves don't usually make alliances, but even deep hatred can be set aside in the face of oblivion. An ancient curse was destroying Ferelden's largest Dalish clans, turning the elves into werewolves. Zathrian, the clan's keeper, claimed that the cure required the heart of the great wolf, Witherfang. Years before, Zathrian himself had afflicted a group of humans with the curse that now ravaged his clan. As long as he lived, the curse endured. The hero freed the werewolves from the long-standing curse, and the Dalish joined the Warden's forces. Blights may happen hundreds of years apart, but the dwarves who live below the surface of Thedas fight Darkspawn every day. No one is better schooled in battling Darkspawn than the warriors of Orzammar, except perhaps their allies of old, the Grey Wardens. The hero arrived in Orzammar in the wake of King Endrin's death to find political factions fighting for control of the dwarven capital. Only the vote of a venerated paragon could break the deadlock to elect a ruler, and order the dwarves to honor their Grey Warden treaty and join the battle against the new Blight. The hero set off to find a paragon named Branka, who had disappeared into the Deep Roads in search of a legendary artifact, the Anvil of the Void, created by the renowned smith Caradon to forge mighty war golems. The hero helped Caradon destroy the Anvil of the Void, along with the dark secrets that could trap a living soul inside a mechanical construct. The hero emerged from the Deep Roads with a master-forged crown to bestow the Paragon's favor upon whichever rival candidate would be crowned king. Balin, the youngest son of King Endrin who was suspected of foul play, or Haramont, the aging traditionalist backed by the Dwarven Assembly. Balin followed his father to the throne. He leads with a ruthless but progressive hand, seeking to re-establish ties to the surface kingdoms. With Dwarden's strength now bolstering the Warden's army, the hero had to deal with Loghain, so Ferelden could stand unified against the Darkspawn, before the Blight swallowed the world. The kingdom of Ferelden stood divided. While some nobles supported Loghain's regency, others condemned his inaction against the Darkspawn. Civil war brewed, and Arl Eamon called a landsmeet in hopes of curtailing the conflict and removing Loghain from the throne. Loghain was found guilty of treason, and the hero carried out his execution in Denerim's palace. As the Warden's united army massed in Redcliffe, the Darkspawn overran Denerim, laying siege to Ferelden's capital city. The hero's army fought valiantly through Denerim and broke the Darkspawn's siege. On Fort Dracon's highest tower, the hero's strongest allies fought alongside the Warden in a final heroic battle against the massive Archdemon. The Archdemon was killed without the sacrifice of a Grey Warden's life. With no Archdemon to lead them, the Darkspawn scattered. Most fled underground, still teeming in number and always seeking a new Archdemon to awaken. The shattered kingdom of Ferelden embarked on a long journey to recovery. In the Blight's aftermath, strong leadership was crucial. Alistair, King Kaelin's half-brother, and Queen Enora, Kaelin's widow and daughter of Loghain, joined in a political union. Together, they ushered Ferelden into a new era. Ferelden still stands, as obstinate and resolute as the Dog Lords ever are, but the events of the Fifth Blight loom over it as the nation rebuilds. For people across Thedas, legends of the hero of Ferelden remain the nation's brightest beacons of hope during its darkest times. It all began in Kirkwall, the fall of Knight Commander Meredith, the Qunari uprising, and of course, the Chantry's destruction and the onset of Mage Rebellion. One person always stood amidst the swirling chaos: Hawke, the champion of Kirkwall. The Hawke family fled Lothering, refugees from the Blight. Leandra, mother of the champion, and siblings Bethany and Carver, hoped to find refuge at her family's estate in Kirkwall, far to the north. As a mage with a family legacy of magic on both sides, Hawk naturally became involved in the events that ultimately led to the Mage Rebellion. The Hawks escaped the Blight with the help of Aveline Valen, a warrior and family friend. It's said that the family was also aided by Flemeth, the notorious Witch of the Wilds. Hawk's sister Bethany never reached the Free Marches. She was killed by Darkspawn while defending her family. The family's first years in Kirkwall were difficult. Leandra's brother Gamlin had lost the family fortune. The Hawks lived in poverty, forced to indenture themselves in return for entrance to the city. To pay off the debt, Hawk was forced to work for a gang of smugglers. All the while, Hawk and Carver did their best to hide Hawk's magic from the Templars. Opportunity eventually struck in the form of a dwarf named Bartrand Tethras, who was planning an expedition to the Deep Roads. It was a long shot, but with gold gained from the expedition, Hawk could free the family from its criminal creditors and further Templar scrutiny. Hawk met a rogue Grey Warden named Anders, who possessed detailed maps of the Deep Roads. These maps were crucial to the expedition's success. Once Hawk obtained them, everything else fell quickly into place. Out of concern for his safety, Hawk insisted that Carver stay in Kirkwall rather than accompany the expedition. Hawk did find ancient dwarven treasure, but the group also stumbled upon a statuette formed from a strange red lyrium. Upon returning to the surface, Hawk learned that Carver had joined the Templars, pursuing his own fate instead of living in his sibling's shadow. The gold Hawk recovered from the Deep Roads brought back Leandra's stately childhood home in Hightown. The Hawks had barely settled into their new home when Leandra was murdered, a deeply sinister and twisted killing. Hawk hunted down Quentin, the blood mage responsible, but could not prevent Leandra's death. Leandra's tragic death was part of a critical problem facing Kirkwall: rising tension between the city's mages, who felt increasingly oppressed, and Templars, who grew increasingly suspicious of their activities. Adding to the strain, a large contingent of Qunari had also established themselves in Kirkwall, much to the growing discomfort of the city's rulers. After their dreadnought was shipwrecked many years before, a group of stranded Qunari were allowed to remain in a cordoned-off area in Lowtown. As time passed, the Qunari made no effort to return home, and offered no explanation about why they remained. Tensions rose to a breaking point. Revered Mother Patrice, convinced the Qunari were a threat to the Chantry's faith, incited violence between the Qunari and the Kirkwall populace. Hawk knew that Patrice would bring about unnecessary conflict. Though the champion tried to stop her, Patrice orchestrated the murder of Seamus Dumar, a Viscount's son and a recent convert to the Qun. When her crime was discovered, a Qunari assassin killed her. After Seamus was murdered, the Arishok of the Qunari group lost patience with the humans of Kirkwall. They would now submit to the Qun or die. The Qunari struck hard and fast. They took the palace in Hightown and beheaded the Viscount to immediately quash any resistance. Aided by Knight Commander Meredith and First Enchanter Orsino, Hawk reached the palace and stood toe-to-toe with the fearsome Qunari leader. Hawk fought the Qunari leader. The fierce battle resulted in the Arishok's death and the liberation of Kirkwall from its brief occupation. The Qunari quickly withdrew from the city entirely. Hawk saved Kirkwall and earned the grudging respect of the city's Templars, mages, and nobility, along with the title that history remembers: the Champion of Kirkwall. Kirkwall's problems were still not over, however. After Viscount Dumar's death, Knight Commander Meredith took power and blocked all attempts to appoint a new Viscount. Under Meredith's command, the Templars tightened their grip on the mages, planning to suppress what Meredith saw as a growing rebellion. Anders, who spent years fighting for justice and freedom for his fellow mages, saw that the time for negotiation was past. He destroyed Kirkwall's Chantry, killing hundreds, including Grand Cleric Elthina. This single act began a rebellion that spread from circle to circle, until all circles of Magi had risen up in defiance against Chantry rule. There was no forgiveness for what Anders had done, and he asked for death at Hawk's hands. Hawk fulfilled the troubled mage's final request, and many others died along with Anders that day. Fighting spread swiftly through the city. Some mages rebelled openly, many of them succumbing to possession. Templars turned their swords on mages who rebelled and on those who did not. As First Enchanter Orsino refused to bend to the Templars, Knight Commander Meredith demanded that every mage in Kirkwall be put to the sword. Hawk saved many mages from Templar blades, keeping them from succumbing to possession or the temptations of blood magic. In the end, however, Hawk was forced to strike down Orsino, who had betrayed his own values by resorting to blood magic himself. The battle proved one thing: Knight Commander Meredith had gone mad. Hawk saw the truth of it when Meredith unsheathed her sword, and the red lyrium idol from the deep roads was embedded within it. The blade fueled her hatred and paranoia, as it had for months. After a horrific battle, the red lyrium of the Knight Commander's sword consumed her as she died. Meredith became a statue, her face a frozen mask of horror. Little is known of the champion since that final battle. However, Hawk's story lives on in legend and song. Memories of the indelible changes the champion of Kirkwall brought to the face of Thedas. The Mage Rebellion in
And with that, we are ready to begin the Inquisition. On here. Okay. So, going to launch Inquisition there. And we're going to switch my screen over to where I can actually see the game being played. Okay, so game data. Okay, I'm gonna shoot back over the tapestry real quick, so I need to make sure that that's fine. Okay. Yeah, okay, so this is the world state I got in. We're going to start a new game. Okay. We played human, played an elf. North or Tal-Vashoth? And we're going to go with a Tal-Vashoth. Okay. Okay, so how do I want this? I know I'm playing a warrior. So I know. Okay, so I'm gonna make Sandra my tank. That means I'm gonna want to go two-handed. For Nightmare Custom. Okay, we're just going to play on normal. Alright, follows the strict philosophy of the Qunari appeared like a pathway to the north. It is 300 years ago. You are Tal-Vashoth, a Qunari who has rejected the Qun and never even lived in Qunari lands. As part of the Tal-Vashoth mercenary company, you have earned your living by your own wits and the strength of your blade, ignoring the fearful looks you received from those around you. Most recently, the company was sent to the Chantry Conclave as hired swordsmen to keep the peace between mages and Templars. A task has gone horribly wrong. Yes. Okay. Here's customization. Head 1. General face shape. Like that one. Skin tone. Let's go for the paler. That one? Collection. Okay, eye color. Okay, those ones are kind of cool, so keep those ones in mind. Okay, I don't want the faux hog. Do we have any hair choices besides a bun? Oh. We can actually play one without horns. Okay, so it looks like we're always going to have the bun, or we've got cornrows. Okay, so right now I'm just so that one, or that's the okay, that one might be okay. It's just I don't want the faux hawk. That one could be okay. Yeah, I think we got the ones over here where my horns are more or less just going straight. Yeah, I'm gonna go with those ones. Okay. Hair color. And don't want it white. I want to white that little blonde. One more dishware. That actually doesn't look too bad. I think we go, yeah. I like that.
As long as the job gets done, I don't care about the rest.
I just hope I can help. How much is this going to cost me exactly?
Everything you've heard? Completely true.
Okay. Here a couple. She's a warrior, she's been through some combat. Okay, Shadow Killer. Leave that alone. Cancel. Okay. Stick with default. My hand is doing something weird.
Tell me why we shouldn't kill you now. The Conclave is destroyed. Everyone who attended is dead. Except for you.
You think I'm responsible?
Explain this.
I can't.
What do you mean you can't?
I don't know what that is, or how it got there.
You're lying!
We need her, Cassandra.
Sorrow. Outward aggression. Confuse. I think we're gonna go.
I don't understand.
Do you remember what happened? How this began?
I remember running. Things were chasing me, and then... a woman.
A woman?
She reached out to me, but then...
Go to the forward camp, Liliana. I will take her to the rift.
What did happen?
It will be easier to show you.
Although I do kind of appreciate the fact that, for the most part, our starting armor is gambeson, which is actually good armor. We got some metal.
Call it the Breach. It's a massive rift into the world of demons that grows larger with each passing hour. It's not the only such rift, just the largest. All were caused by the explosion at the Conclave.
An explosion can do that?
This one did. Unless we act, the Breach may grow until it swallows the world. Each time the Breach expands, your mark spreads, and it is killing you. It may be the key to stopping this, but there isn't much time.
You say it may be the key. To doing what?
Closing the Breach. Whether that's possible is something we shall discover shortly. It is our only chance, however. And yours.
You still think I did this? To myself?
Not intentionally. Something clearly went wrong.
And if I'm not responsible?
Someone is, and you are our only suspect. You wish to prove your innocence? This is the only way.
So I don't really have a choice about this.
None of us has a choice. They have decided your guilt. They need it. The people of Haven mourn our most holy, divine Justinia, head of the Chantry. The Conclave was hers. It was a chance for peace between mages and Templars. She brought their leaders together. Now they are dead. We lash out like the sky, but we must think beyond ourselves, as she did. Until the breach is sealed. There will be a trial. I can promise no more. Come. It is not far.
Where are you taking me?
Your mark must be tested on something smaller than the breach.
Let all repeat the chant of light. Only the
Open the gate. We are heading into the valley. Pulses are coming faster now. The larger the breach grows, the more rifts appear, the more demons we face.
How did I survive the blast?
They said you stepped out of a rift, then fell unconscious. They say a woman was in the rift behind you. No one knows who she was. Everything farther in behind me!
It's over.
Drop your weapon. Now!
If you're going to lead me through a demon-infested valley, you'll have to trust me.
Give me one reason to trust you.
Because my life is on the line.
You're right. I cannot protect you. And I cannot expect you to be defenseless. I should remember you did not attempt to run. Take these potions. Maker knows what we will face.
Where are all... Our soldiers?
At the forward camp, or fighting. We are on our own for now.
Back over here real quick. Okay. Inventory. Armor. So what do I have 2 mercenary coats?
There! Watch out! If we flank them, we may gain the advantage.
Do not use that. I do not want to taunt. That is for Liliana.
Up on the hill. It attacks from a distance.
Okay, so let's go back over here. To finish checking around and exploring everywhere first. dip down here real quick. Yeah, don't say anything. Okay, so when am I gonna pick up Varric?
We're getting close to the rift. You can hear the fighting.
Who's fighting?
You'll see soon. We must help them.
Quickly! Before more come through!
What did you do?
I did nothing. The credit is yours.
You mean this?
Whatever magic opened the breach in the sky also placed that mark upon your hand. I theorized the mark might be able to close the rifts that have opened in the breach's wake. And it seems I was correct.
Meaning it could also close the breach itself.
Possibly. It seems you hold the key to our salvation.
Good to know. Here I thought we'd be ass-deep in demons forever. Varric Tethras, rogue, storyteller, and occasionally unwelcome tag-along.
Are you with the Chantry, or...
Was that a serious question?
Technically, I'm a prisoner, just like you.
I brought you here to tell your story to the Divine. Clearly, that is no longer necessary.
Yet, here I am. Lucky for you, considering current events.
That's a nice crossbow you have there.
Ah, isn't she? Bianca and I have been through a lot together.
You named your crossbow Bianca.
Of course. And she'll be great company in the valley.
Absolutely not. Your help is appreciated, Varric, but...
Have you been in the valley lately, Seeker? Your soldiers aren't in control anymore. You need me.
Ugh.
My name is Solus, if there are to be introductions. I am pleased to see you still live.
He means I kept that mark from killing you while you slept.
You seem to know a great deal about it all.
Solus is an apostate, well-versed in such matters.
Technically, all mages are now apostates, Cassandra. My travels have allowed me to learn much of the Fade, far beyond the experience of any circle mage. I came to offer whatever help I can give with the breach. If it is not closed, we are all doomed regardless of origin.
I had less choice in volunteering to help.
Cassandra, you should know, the magic involved here is unlike any I've seen. Your prisoner is no mage. Indeed, I find it difficult to imagine any mage having such power.
Understood. We must get to the forward camp quickly.
Well... Bianca's excited.
This way, down the bank. The road ahead is blocked.
We must move quickly.
Yes, but I'm still going to stop and search for it. Okay, so I want to verify something. Okay, so I'm going to move outside the range. Okay, no, I actually have to find things that are lootable. Oh, okay, that might be an upgrade for me. Inventory. Weapons, okay, yes. %, sunder on hit. Yeah, right now I'm in a situation where I just need to focus on damage.
Demons ahead.
Glad you brought me now, Seeker?
Around, see if I can find any more shit to loot. Okay, more elf fruit. Whiteboard amulet. Accessories. Let's do plus 50 for heal. Okay. So basically, if I'm going to die, I get a temporary reprieve.
We had Qunari and Kirkwall. A whole boatload of them. They were your typical cheerless sort, then they tried to take over the city and kill everyone. But I'm guessing you don't actually follow the Qun, do you? You're Tal-Vashoth.
That's an excellent guess.
Well, you haven't recited a single quote from the Prophet Coslim yet. So unless you're trying to stay on the Seeker's good side, I'd say that's pretty telling.
So, checked up there. Down there. Right. Yes, we put the thing further that way. Down swim back over here, take a look.
Hold on. We haven't much further.
We'll check over here real quick. Hey, there's no fruit. Alright, forward we go.
So, are you innocent?
I don't remember what happened.
That'll get you every time. Should have spun a story.
That's what you would have done.
It's more believable and less prone to result in premature execution.
I hope Liliana made it through all this.
She's resourceful, Seeker.
We will see for ourselves at the forward camp. We're almost there.
Let's check this out real quick. Don't think there's gonna be anything. Okay.
Another rift!
We must seal it! Quickly!
They keep coming! Help us!
Hurry! Use the mark!
Okay. All right. Start out with Mighty Blow. Americans are Horn of Valor and Combat Roll. So, more horns down here. I want Horn of Valor over here. And combat rolls right there. So, first thing we have to learn is Grappling Chain. Alternatively, I could upgrade my Mighty Blow. I think I'm gonna go with Chain because it gives me something else to do. It lets me deal with ranged enemies better. Okay.
Rift is gone. Open the gate.
Right away, Lady Cassandra.
We are clear for the moment. Well done.
Whatever that thing on your hand is, it's useful.
Make sure I'm not forgetting something out here. It doesn't look like it's forward we go.
Haven't you all done enough already?
You are not belong here.
Ah, here they come.
You made it. Chancellor Roderick, this is...
I know who she is. As Grand Chancellor of the Chantry, I hereby order you to take this criminal to Val Royeaux to face execution.
Order me? You are a glorified clerk, a bureaucrat.
And you are a thug, but a thug who supposedly serves the Chantry.
We serve the most holy, Chancellor. As you well know.
Justinia is dead! We must elect a replacement and obey her orders on the matter.
Isn't closing the breach the more pressing issue?
You brought this on us in the first place! Call a retreat, Seeker. Our position here is hopeless.
We can stop this before it's too late.
How? You won't survive long enough to reach the temple, even with all your soldiers.
We must get to the temple. It's the quickest route.
But not the safest. Our forces can charge as a distraction while we go through the mountains.
We lost contact with an entire squad on that path. It's too risky.
Listen to me. Abandon this now, before more lives are lost.
How do you think we should proceed?
Now you're asking me what I think.
You have the mark.
And you are the one we must keep alive. Since we cannot agree on our own,
Okay, so... Okay, I'm just gonna do it this way. So get to... So let's see if this actually makes any impact when we get down. Wrath of Heaven. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna take the mountain path.
Use the mountain path. Work together. You all know what's at stake.
Liliana, bring everyone left in the valley. Everyone.
On your head be the consequences, Seeker.
The tunnel should be just ahead. The path to the temple lies just beyond it.
What manner of tunnel is this? A mine?
Part of an old mining complex. These mountains are full of such paths.
And your missing soldiers are in there somewhere?
Along with whatever has detained them.
We shall see soon enough.
Can't smash the barrels. Okay, so that is an upgraded shield. So, yeah, that is going to be an upgrade for her. Let's take a look. 30% front defense plus 3 willpower. Compared to... Position shield. Okay, so yeah, this is going to be an upgrade, so she's going to equip that. Okay, that's a rogue-only weapon. Okay. Real quick, make sure not miss anything like that.
Yes, we found the soldiers.
That cannot be all of them.
So the others could be holed up ahead.
Our priority must be the breach. Unless we seal it soon, no one is safe.
I'm leaving that to our Qunari friend here.
Lady Cassandra!
Lieutenant, you're alive.
Just barely.
Sealed, as before. You are becoming quite proficient at this.
Let's hope it works on the big one.
Thank the Maker you finally arrived, Lady Cassandra. I don't think we could have held out much longer.
Thank our prisoner, Lieutenant. She insisted we come this way.
The prisoner? Then you...
It was worth saving you, if we could.
Then you have my sincere gratitude.
The way into the valley behind us is clear for the moment. Go, while you still can.
At once.
Quickly, let's move!
The path ahead appears to be clear of demons as well.
Let's hurry before that changes. Down the ladder. That's the way to the temple.
First account. Okay. Okay, so that's elf, dwarf, or human requirement level 6. Okay. Nobody can use that at the moment. Oops. Ow.
So, holes in the Fade don't just accidentally happen, right?
If enough magic is brought to bear, it is possible.
But there are easier ways to make things explode.
That is true.
We will consider how this happened once the immediate danger is past.
Alright, not seeing anything at the moment.
The Temple of Sacred Ashes.
What's left of it?
That is where you walked out of the Fade, and our soldiers found you. They say a woman was in the rift behind you. No one knows who she was.
And scout hat. My longbow is basically useless. Currently. Armor. Okay, so elf, dwarf, humans. That's plus dex items. That's gonna want to go to there.
Is a long way up.
You're here. Thank the Maker.
Liliana, have your men take up positions around the temple. This is your chance to end this. Are you ready?
I'll try. But I don't know if I can reach that, much less close it.
No. This rift was the first, and it is the key. Seal it, and perhaps we seal the breach.
Then let's find a way down. And be careful.
Now is the hour of our victory. Bring forth the sacrifice.
What are we hearing?
At a guess, the person who created the breach.
You know this stuff is red lyrium, Seeker.
I see it, Varric.
But what's it doing here?
Magic could have drawn on lyrium beneath the temple, corrupted it.
It's evil. Whatever you do, don't touch it.
Keep the sacrifice still.
Someone help me! That is Divine Justinia's voice.
And here we go.
What's going on here?
That was your voice. Most Holy called out to you, but...
What's going on here?
Run when you can! Hold them!
We have an intruder. Slay the Qunari.
You were there! Who attacked? And the Divine, is she... Was this vision true? What are we seeing?
I don't remember.
Echoes of what happened here. The fade bleeds into this place. This rift is not sealed, but it is closed, albeit temporarily. I believe that with the mark, the rift can be opened, and then sealed properly and safely. However, opening the rift will likely attract attention from the other side.
That means demons! Stand ready!
That's specifically a pride demon.
Now! Haven is vulnerable! Now!
Got it. There we go.
Now! Seal the rift! Do it!
All right. That's another one down. And we're passed out again.
Oh! I didn't know you were awake, I swear.
Why are you frightened? What happened?
That's wrong, isn't it? I said the wrong thing.
I don't think so.
I beg your forgiveness and your blessing. I am but a humble servant. You are back in Haven, my lady. They say you saved us. The breach stopped growing, just like the mark on your hand. It's all anyone has talked about for the last 3 days.
So a trial happens now, I suppose.
I don't know anything about that. I'm certain Lady Cassandra would want to know you've wakened. She said, at once.
And where is she?
In the Chantry, with the Lord Chancellor. At once, she said.
Patient observations, faint hope, so inverted this to me takes no where the survivor expires, notes in case. Day 1, clammy, shallow breathing, pulse over fast, not responsive. Pupils dilated. Mage says her scarring mark is throbbing without a magic, which you could station temp like her just in case. Alright, let's take a look at these things I picked up. So I got a great sword. A maul. AoE target. Put that, because that's an upgrade over this. We've got a Var armor, which gives me cold resistance. Stone bear. Shoktar. Tamsar. Okay, I'm gonna go with the Shoktar. Hey, I don't have any helmets I can use. Yes, that's light armor. That's medium. I'm wearing heavy armor.
That's her. That's the Herald of Andraste.
I believe Seeker Cassandra would like to speak with you.
And we have no clue what is going on here.
That's her. She stopped the breach from getting any bigger.
Still a lot of rifts left all over. Little cracks in the sky.
She can seal those, though. The Herald of Andraste.
Day 3. Less thrashing, some response to stimulus, vital seems solid. 2 attempts so far by locals to break into the Chantry to kill my patient. Let's work to save her life, and will they just execute her? Before Lake Cassandra, I expect her to wake for the morn.
Not taking orders right now. Got a problem with it? Bring it up with Cassandra.
Let's really place things on your phone. So it doesn't look like I got any restrictions on what really romance is Qunari that I really want to go after. Maiden. Have you ever heard the story of King Bedivere? Bedivere, like most kings, was a man of great pride, expected nothing but complete loyalty from his subjects. He believed the best way to achieve this was through fear. After all, those who feared him would never cross him or question his rule. Most importantly, those who feared him would always seek to please him. Bedivere cultivated terror in his subordinates through the gleeful and unrestrained use of a character referred to as the Maiden. The Maiden was a hinged iron casket, as high and wide and deep as a man, with vicious spikes within meant to pierce through the poor soul locked into it. Bedivere's Maiden was prized possession and stood in place of honor in his throne room. Often with a screaming victim inside it, political rivals, suspected assassins, treasonous ministers, the Maiden consumed them all. But as time passed, more people were given to the Maiden for increasingly trivial offenses. Cook for assaulting the king's food, the page boy for dropping his sword. The Maiden cast a pall over the kingdom, and its people prayed for deliverance from their cruel king. Then one day, a strange woman rode into the city. She called herself Ember and was an emissary from a far-off land. Her leaders had heard, she said, of Bedivere's wisdom and authority, and she sought the king's counsel. The thought they had earned the adulation of brother kings across the sea made Bedivere swell with pride and grant Ember an audience. They dined, danced, and through it all, Ember flattered and fawned on the king. At the end of the night, Ember asked to see the Maiden. The infamous device had given Bedivere all his power. The king, giddy with praise, proudly presented Ember with the empty contraption. Ember looked at Maiden, sighed disappointed, and said, "That does not look terrifying at all. I should have imagined the spikes to be much sharper." Bedivere grew redder, calm, and replied, "The spikes are sharp enough. Look at the blood still clings them." "But so small," said Ember. Are only children and women its victims?" Bedivere grew redder still and replied, "Of course not. The Maiden has devoured many men." Ember shook her head and said to the king, "I do not believe it. Surely no warrior could pay this thing. A man like yourself, tall and muscled, would not fit within." The king laughed and saw a way to prove the merit of the Maiden to Ember. "I'll show you how easily a man like myself could fit," he said, and with that he stepped into the device. But Ember was waiting, and no sooner had Bedivere squeezed himself into the iron casket than Ember slammed it shut on him. Ember took the Maiden with a screaming Bedivere inside, through the castle, and down into the city. The people, finally freed from the king's tyranny, cheered and danced to the singing that echoed through the streets until Bedivere was dead, and it finally stopped. Well then.
Walk safely, Herald of Andraste.
Pleasant. Andraste's Mabari. You know Andraste's old Mabari. He don't show up in the chant. If you ask those holy sisters, well, they say Andraste can't have some build really war dog, but all Ferelden knows it right. Our sweet lady needed someone who would warm and beat at night. And there's Andraste's Mabari by the holy prophet's side. In the fight against Defender, the dog did never hide. They say the Maker sent him special, always loyal without pride, so he could be the sworn companion of the Maker's holy bride. Oh, that dog, he guards Andraste without arrogance or fear. Only asking of his mistress just to scratch behind the ears. But then old Mafrith gets to plotting, tries to lure that dog away, but even as they trap the prophet, her Mabari never strays. And there's Andraste's Mabari by the holy prophet's side, a fight against Dementor, the dog never hide. They say the Maker sent him special, always loyal without pride, so he could be the sworn companion of the Maker's holy bride. Though they thought the wounds had killed him, but then he limped toward the fire, and as Sarian he shed a tear as the dog lit on the pyre. And there's Andraste's Mabari by the holy prophet's side, and in the fight against Dementor, that dog would never hide. They say the Maker sent him special, always loyal without pride, so he could be sworn companion of the Maker's holy bride. Is that Mabari the companion of the Maker's holy bride? A popular, historically liking Ferelden Tyrant song. Okay, I'm gonna run back over here. Something, one of these horses gotta have day 2 in it.
I thought Seekers knew everything. Maker be with you.
Here? We got day 1, we got day 3. Where's day 2?
with you.
It can't go that way.
Blessings upon you, Herald of Andraste.
Siege weapon used been used in Thedas for centuries. The primitive equipment used as far back as the Third Light. Nevertheless, occupies a peculiar niche in the tools of warfare due to its requirements. Any army wishing to produce trebuchets or catapults must be funded and organized well enough to procure both the necessary materials and military experts to construct them. Throughout histories, most armies who fulfilled such requirements did not take advantage of the situation. During the Third Blight, for example, our legions and Multimar constructed catapults to flame flaming debris at the Darkspawn, but the expense of their weapons did not justify the limited damage they caused. The Darkspawn were ultimately driven back by the Grey Wardens, not siege weaponry. Major forces similarly had the resources to construct siege weapons when attacking the free marchers or defending themselves against the exalted marchers of the Black Age. Instead, the Imperium focused primarily upon the power of its magisters, who were less powerful but more flexible than siege equipment, and it could more easily fall back when the tide of battle turned. As a result, the battles against the Qunari in the Steel Age, generals found to their chagrin that their great Oxmen had left them behind. Qunari black powder is, most military experts agree, not magic. It's merely an advanced alchemy that makes their cannons more effective than any trebuchet could ever be. Nevertheless, there remains hope. As centuries have passed since the last blight, and mages are now safely held in circles where they harm none. The experts of Ferelden Orlades may once again turn their great minds to learning. We need no magic, not where the minds of men survive unfettered. With our resources and our commitment to the knowledge, we can easily surpass the brutal Qunari on the field of battle. Kun, Gurns, and Seal military conflict in a post-blight Thedas, written 929 Dragon shortly before the start of the 5th Blight. Well, that statement aged well. Okay, so that's day 3.
Good luck sealing those rifts.
I guess so. Is it day 2 then for some bizarre reason?
Walk safely, Herald of Andraste.
Let's take a look in here real quick. Yep, nothing. Alright, well, into the Chantry.
Most of the Grand Clerics have died of conflict.
Who will lead us now?
Andraste didn't have Grand Clerics, so we know what to do. She managed.
The light should lead her safely through the paths of this world and into the next. For she who trusts the Maker fires her water as the moth sees light and go towards the flame. She see fire and go towards the light. The veil holds no uncertainty for her, and she will know no fear of death for the Maker. Her beacon in her shield, her sword, foundation in her sword. Transfigurations 10:1, often sung by mourners as they light candles.
Have you gone completely mad? She should be taken to Val Royo immediately, to be tried by whoever becomes.
Odilus Draken, king of the city-state of Orlais, was a man of uncommon ambition. In the year 15 Ancient, the young king began construction of a great temple dedicated to the Maker and declared that by its completion he would not only have united the warring states of the south, he would have brought Andrastian relief to the world. In -3 Ancient, the temple was completed. There in its heart, Draken knelt before the eternal flame of Andraste and was crowned ruler of the Empire of Orlais. His first act of emperor declared the Chantry as the established Andrastian religion of the Empire. It took 3 years and several hundred votes before Olessa of Montsimsa was elected to lead the new chantry. Upon her coronation as divine, she took the name Justinia in honor of the disciple who recorded Andraste's song. In that moment, the ancient era ended and the divine age began. World in Folklore and History by Sister Petrine, Chantry Scholar. Chantry Hierarchy. The divine is the titular head of the chantry. Although since the schism split the Imperial Chantry into its own faction, there are now in fact 2 divines at any one time. One divine, informally called the White Divine, is a woman housed in the Grand Cathedral of Val-Royeal. The other, known as the Black Divine, is a man housed in the arch-inspired Minrathus. Neither divine recognize the existence of the other, and the informal names are considered sacrilegious. No matter the gender, a divine is addressed as Most Holy or Your Perfection. Beneath the rank of divine is the Grand Cleric. The Grand Cleric presides over numerous chantries and represents the highest religious authority for their region. They travel to Val-Royeal when the College of Clerics convenes, but otherwise remain where they are assigned. All Grand Clerics are addressed as Your Grace. Beneath the Grand Cleric is the Mother, or in the Imperial Chantry, the Father. The Mother is in charge of a particular chantry, revered as appended to her title. These are priests responsible for administering to the spiritual well-being of their flock. A mother or revered mother is addressed as Your Reverence. Brothers and sisters from the rank and file of the chantry consist of 3 main groups: affirmed, initiates, and clerics. Affirmed are the lay brethren of the chantry, those regular folk who turn to the chantry for succor. Often they are people who've led a difficult or religious life and have chosen to go into seclusion, or even orphans and similar unfortunates who were raised in the chantry life. The affirmed take care of the chantry, and in return afford a life of quiet contemplation, no questions asked. Only those folks who take vows become initiates. These are men and women in training, whether in academic knowledge or the martial skills for warfare. All initiates receive an academic education, although only those who seek to become Templars learn to fight. In addition, clerics are the true academics of the chantry, those men and women who have dedicated themselves to the pursuit of knowledge. They are often found in chantry archives, sages presiding over libraries of books and arcane knowledge. The most senior of these clerics placed in charge of such archives are given the title Elder, although such rank is still beneath that of Mother. All his brothers and sisters are simply addressed by noting their title before their names, such as Brother Jin and Thebe. From a guide for ambassadors from Ravane. Need Varric or Sarah for that. Okay, well, I guess it's time to go talk to Cassandra and Liliana. And the Chancellor needs to get the stick out of his ass. Queen of Sundering. Aviv. Children of Andraste. Your name is conceptions regarding Andraste's bloodline, Monsieur. This is due, I should think, to a general lack of knowledge regarding Andraste's mortal life. Understandable considering the many cults that arose following her death. Everyone sought to claim Our Lady for their own culture or claim some aspect of her existence was a lie. All of them complete fabrications, while it is done considerable research to ascertain the truth. We all know Andraste and the betrayer raised 5 children. The eldest 3 were sons, Israth, Evran, and Varald. The rule was one southern divinity was split among them. Israth was given the west, what is today Orlais. Evran was given the east, what is today the Free Marches. Varald given the central Planacine, what is today Navarra. The name of these men and their legacies is stuff of legend, and the majority claim it's Andraste's bloodline linked back to one of them. None of the 3 sons, however, were born of Andraste. They were born of the Cher's concubine, Gilevan. People choose to overlook the fact that Andraste came from the Alamara tribesmen, and that they were barbarians, not the Ferelden's we know today. They were savage warriors who took concubines in addition to their wives, because Andraste was thought to be too weak to bear children. The betrayer took Gilvain to provide him heirs, which she did. After her death, the sons were raised as Andraste's own. Later in life, Andraste proved predictions wrong and had 2 daughters by the betrayer, Ebrice and Vival. They were kept out of the public eye and not permitted to marry, though both had consorts. Ebrice had but one child, Ali Vemar, who perished on the voyage to Denrin less than a month after her mother fell plague and without children of her own. The younger daughter, Vivial, was more controversial, a strong-headed woman who defied her family by falling in love with the mage Tevinter. Regulon. Vivial and Regulon went into self-imposed exile as the Exalted March began, into hiding following Andraste's betrayal and murder. What became of Vivial and her descendants is largely unknown for one primary reason: she only had daughters. Each of those daughters only had daughters. They married into other families and took other names. In the case of the Second Blight, all traces of survivors were lost. Andraste's true bloodline, if it exists, lies solely in the descent of Vivial, and the suspicion of my order is that it produces only daughters. Thus, claims of your young man Lashore are highly suspect. A letter by Sister Galena of the Augustine Order, Dragon 912. Okay, talking to her can wait until after I talk to Cassandra. Going on in here. There was no word for heaven or for earth or for sea or sky. All that existed was silence, and the voice of the Maker rang out. The first word, his word, became all that might be. Dream an idea, hope and fear, endless possibilities, and from it made his firstborn, and he said to them, in my image I forged you, you I give dominion over all that exists. By your will may all things be done. In the center of heaven he called forth a city with towers of gold, streets with music for cobblestones, and banners which flew without wind. There he dwelled, waiting to see his wonders his children would create. The children of the Maker gathered before his golden throne and sang hymns of praise unending. But their songs were the songs of the cobblestones. They shone with golden light reflected from the Maker throne. They held forth the banners, they flew on their own. The voice of the Maker shook the fade, saying, in my image I have brought my firstborn. You have been given dominion over all that exists. By your will all things are done, yet you do nothing. The realm I have given you is formless, ever changing. And he knew he had wrought amiss, so the Maker turned from his firstborn, took from the fade a measure of its living flesh, and placed it apart in the spirits, and spoke to it, saying, here I decree opposition all things, for earth, sky, winter, summer, for darkness, light. By my will alone is balance sundered, and the world given new life. And no longer was it formless, ever changing, but held fast, immutable. With words for heaven, and for earth, for sea and sky. And last of the Maker from the living world make men, immutable as the substance of the earth. The souls made a dream and idea, hope and fear, endless possibilities. Then the Maker said, to you, my second-born, I grant this gift. And your heart shall burn an unquenchable flame, all-consuming and never satisfied. From the fate I crafted you, into the fate you shall return each night in dreams, that you may always remember me. And the Maker sealed the gates of the Golden City, and there he dwelled, waiting to see the wonders his children would create. Canticle Trinities 5, 1-8.
Chain her! I want her prepared for travel to the capital for trial.
Disregard that, and leave us.
You walk a dangerous line, Seeker.
The breach is stable, but it is still a threat. I will not ignore it.
Did what I could.
I did everything I could to close the breach. It almost killed me.
Yet you live. A convenient result insofar as you're concerned.
And you're a douche.
Have a care, Chancellor. The breach is not the only threat we face.
Someone was behind the explosion at the Conclave. Someone most holy did not expect. Perhaps they died with the others, or have allies who yet live.
I am a suspect?
You, and many others.
But not the prisoner.
I heard the voices in the temple. The Divine called to her for help.
So her survival, that thing on her hand, all a coincidence?
Providence. The Maker sent her to us in our darkest hour.
Okay, I need to look up what all of these are. Would please. Works. Okay, so in this case, she is definitely on the surprise side.
So, you've changed your mind about me.
I was wrong. Perhaps I still am. I will not, however, pretend you were not exactly what we needed when we needed it.
The breach remains, and your mark is still our only hope of closing it.
This is not for you to decide.
You know what this is, Chancellor. A writ from the Divine, granting us the authority to act. As of this moment, I declare the Inquisition reborn. We will close the breach, we will find those responsible, and we will restore order with or without your approval.
This is the Divine's directive. Rebuild the Inquisition of old. Find those who will stand against the chaos. We aren't ready. We have no leader, no numbers. And now, no Chantry support.
But we have no choice. We must act now, with you at our side.
What is the Inquisition of old, exactly?
It preceded the Chantry. People who banded together to restore order in a world gone mad.
After, they laid down their banner and formed the Templar Order, but the Templars have lost their way. We need those who can do what must be done, united under a single banner once more.
But aren't you still part of the Chantry?
Is that what you see?
The Chantry will take time to find a new Divine. And then it will wait for her direction.
But we cannot wait. So many Grand Clerics died at the Conclave. No, we are on our own. Perhaps forever.
You're trying to start a holy war.
We are already at war. You are already involved. Its mark is upon you. As to whether the war is holy, that depends on what we discover.
What if I refuse?
You can go if you wish.
You should know that while some believe you chosen, many still think you guilty. The Inquisition can only protect you if you are with us.
We can also help you.
It will not be easy if you stay, but you cannot pretend this has not changed you.
When I woke up, I certainly didn't picture this outcome.
Neither did we.
Help us fix this before it's too late.
Okay. And I just got forced into different armor. What am I wearing? Undercoat. So get back into the Shook Tower.
Thanks for checking, anyway. I didn't realize any of Leliana's Oxmen mercenaries were still here. Well, if you want new gear, you pay for it. Oh, you're her. Thren, Inquisition Quartermaster. I'm doing what I can to supply this mess. If you find what I need to fill one of my requisitions, I'd appreciate you bringing it in.
What do you do here?
I make sure the Inquisition troops have food in their bellies and iron in their hands. Both are important. Lots of people expecting us to be heroes, marching all day to fight the demons. Turns out heroes need to dig latrines just like everyone else.
How does someone end up as quartermaster for the Inquisition?
I served for Eldon under Ten Loghain MacTier. Best commanding officer this world has ever seen. After they all turned on him at Denerim, though, there wasn't much use for people who held that opinion. Queen Honora offered my services to the Inquisition. It was a kindness. She knew I supported her father and got me away from the political garbage.
With that attitude, I can't imagine how you made enemies in Denerim.
People just don't want to hear the truth. I was at Ostagar, and I know what really happened. King Kalen overextended his position, and the Grey Wardens were too late lighting the signal. Following the original plan would have gotten everyone killed. Turn Loghain made the right decision. I apologize. Sister Liliana told me I shouldn't talk about this. Just forget it.
What did you mean when you mentioned requisitions?
I'm making this Inquisition run with what we have, but we're not a real army. We're stretched thin on materials, so I've put up a requisition list for anything that could help our people. Here, take a look. You find some iron and a good logging site, maybe Harriet can get our troops better weapons.
If I have material for a special order, do I bring it to you?
Just take it over there. One of my boys will take the materials or jot down what you found.
Farewell.
Make a go with you.
Okay, so 5 iron and the logging stand.
You find anything we need, let me know.
So we're heretics, so like, should we surrender?
Don't be foolish. We are the Chantry, as much as any grand pirate. And practical power. I'm pleased to hear it.
Even the mountains had a heart once. When the world was young, Korth the Mountain Father kept his throne at the peak of Belenus, a mountain at the center of the world, from which he could see all the corners of the earth and sky. He saw strong men become weak, brave men grow cowardly, and wise men turn foolish for love. Korth devised a plan that he might never be betrayed by his own heart, by taking it out and hiding where no soul will ever dare search for it. He sealed it in a golden cask, buried it in the earth, and raised around the fiercest mountains the world has ever seen, the Frostbacks, to guard it. But without his heart, the Mountain Father grew cruel. His chest was filled with bitter mountain winds that shrieked and howled like lost souls. Food lost its flavor, and music had no sweetness, and he lost all joy in deeds of valor. He sent avalanches and earthquakes to torment the tribes of men. Gods and men rose against him, calling him a tyrant, but with no heart, Korth could not be slain. Soon there were no heroes left, either among men or gods, who would dare challenge Korth. The Lady of the Skies sent the best of her children, the swiftest, the cleverest, and strongest flyers, to scour the mountain for the missing heart. And for a year and a day they searched, but Sparrow and Raven, Vulture and Eagle, Swift and Albatross, returned to her with nothing. Then the Ptarmigan spoke up and offered to find the god chief's heart. The other birds laughed, for the ptarmigan is a tiny bird, too humble to soar, which spends half its time hopping along off the ground. The lady would not give the little creature a blessing, for the mountains were too fierce even for eagles, but the ptarmigan set out anyway. The little bird traveled deep into the frostbacks. When she could not fly, she crawled. She hugged the ground and weathered the worst of the mountain winds, and so made her lonely way to the valley where the heart beat. With all the gods' terrible deeds, the heart was far too heavy for the little tiny bird to carry, so she rolled in it little by little out of the valley and down the cliff. And when the golden cast struck the earth, it shattered. The heart was full almost to bursting, and the pain of it roused the mountain god to come see what had happened. When Korth neared his heart, it leapt back into his chest. He was whole again. Then Haakon Winter's Breath bound Korth's chest with 3 bands of iron, 3 bands of ice, so it could never again escape. And all the remaining gods named the Ptarmigan honored above even the loftiest eagles. The Ptarmigan, a Navarre's tale from Verlin folklore and history by Sister Petrine, Chantry scholar. Resources found here: Elford Iron. Hey, Varric.
So, now that Cassandra's out of earshot, are you holding up all right? I mean, you go from being the most wanted criminal in Thedas to joining the armies of the faithful. Most people would have spread that out over more than one day.
Hmm.
I have no idea what's happening anymore.
That makes two of us. For days now, we've been staring at the breach, watching demons and Maker knows what fall out of it. Bad for morale would be an understatement. I still can't believe anyone was in there and lived.
If it was that bad, why did you stay? Cassandra said you were free to go.
I like to think I'm as selfish and irresponsible as the next guy, but this... Thousands of people died on that mountain. I was almost one of them. And now there's a hole in the sky. Even I can't walk away and just leave that to sort itself out.
I'm still not sure I believe any of this is really happening.
If this is all just the Maker winding us up, I hope there's a damn good punchline coming. You might want to consider running at the first opportunity. I've written enough tragedies to recognize where this is going. Heroes are everywhere. I've seen that. But the hole in the sky... that's beyond heroes. We're going to need a miracle.
Okay. Something in the war room apparently missing. The double.
Too many wounded.
Yes, war room here. Is that somewhere else? Yes, the war room is in Chantry, and I don't want to go in there yet.
If the Inquisition can afford fancy new uniforms, it can afford rations. And Mother Giselle.
Good day. Or good as it could be with the sky ripped apart.
What kind of person stays to run a shop at a time like this?
The kind with nowhere else to go. Those blasted demons destroyed most of my goods. If I stay here, work some contacts, I can start rebuilding. Maybe, just maybe, help you folks out in the process.
You must speak with most everyone here. How are people doing?
Hope and fear in equal measure. No one really knows what it means when an Inquisition is called. Yet. Of course, we're all getting used to, well, you as our last best hope. Nothing personal.
Can I see what you have for sale?
Of course. My wares are at the table.
Okay. So... oh, right. Guitar is the, markings. Okay. I get Varric to my party, we'll do that. So. Your great sword. Get rid of that. On that actually. Okay, how do I get to...
Mother Giselle says we're losing fewer patients.
Yep.
If the Inquisition wants to field a decent cavalry, it needs better horses. I heard Seeker Pentecost might try to acquire suitable mounts from Master Dennett in the hinterland.
Oh, and who are you to be fishing around? What the higher-ups are doing?
Back in Ansburg, my uncle was 5th Praetor.
Expected you'd be by. I'm Harriet, and everyone knows who you are. How's the new gear fit?
Sturdy and warm. It's perfect.
Good. World's gone mad. Stock armor and blades are good against bandits, but we're not fighting bandits. My gear will see you through demons, apostates, whatever this world throws at you. So, you need custom work, something special. You bring the materials to us, we'll make it happen.
What can you and your team make here?
Arms and armor. We work iron to blighted dragonbone if you've got it. Our designs are simple, but they get the job done. You want something fancy, bring your own design. We'll see what we can do.
How did you come to be here?
Come from a little town called Lothering. Long gone now. I was in Redcliffe when the Darkspawn hit it during the Blight. Helped rebuild. Left when royalty decided it was time to hand the place over to the bloody mages. Ended up here. Just missed the boom. Can't decide if I'm the luckiest son of a bitch walking or the exact opposite.
You're still walking. That's always good.
True enough.
Who outfits the Inquisition's soldiers?
Not me. I've got work to do. Can't be passing a sword to every blighter who signs up. If you want to help the troops, talk to Thren, the quartermaster. She'll set up requisitions.
Does the Inquisition not have supplies to make armor or weapons?
Tough convincing traders to haul up here. Impossible to get them to risk the rare stuff, so that's on you.
Can you help improve my arms and armor?
Yes. You find a new piece, a pauldron or greaves, we'll take care of you. You can't just slap a new hilt on your sword in the field. Bring it here, we'll make sure it's done right and proper.
If I want something, what can you make?
Start simple. Something to keep you safe. Take a look at it on the table there and we can talk. You'll need materials. We should have what you want just outside.
Goodbye.
Right. You need something, let me know.
Okay, so this needs to be the apothecary. Have some armor made. Modify some armor. Specific things. Alright, so craft armor.
That'll do. Good.
We find one more big chunk of iron somewhere. How's that logging stand?
I should look around.
Here we go. Plenty of iron. Next skin. And we're at. Thank you. Let's go over here. Alright, now just see find that logging stand. Okay, so it's gonna be up here someplace. Should we there? No, so gotta get there somehow. Go in this way. Nope. How do I get up there? Okay, so I think I'm gonna have to go around this. Actually, I need to get back into that area. Here we go. Okay, so back to this hut. So, this needs. Yep, there we go. I just didn't go far enough around the back of it. Where is this logging stand at? There we go. Can I even catch these? Does not look like it. Okay, I shot him into a corner, so that's good. Leather. Okay, I think we're good enough for now, so turn this in. White skin.
Come on, you've seen our mounts.
Trust in the Maker. Fire is her. With passionate breath does the darkness creep.
Need to find the apothecary. Okay, that's you.
I'm used to delivering children and helping old men through the winter cough.
No, it's over there. Okay, so while I'm here.
Nice work with those supplies. The smiths can use them to fit our troops with better gear. Might not affect you much, but our recruits will have better chances next time some monster flies out of a rift.
Farewell.
Make her go with you.
Segrit told me that he can't let the herbs go for anything less than 8.
Fine. We'll gather our own. Tell Segrit he better hope he doesn't need a salve anytime soon.
Your state 2. Pulse normal, breathing normal, still responsive. Careful draft feed. Prep. Effort extract, hasten recovery, a lot of thrashing, mutters. So, I had too many eyes to think about the gray. Encouraging?
Look who's back from the dead. Again. I shouldn't be surprised. You Oxmen are tough as old leather.
I don't recall meeting you before.
I'd be surprised if you did. You weren't particularly coherent. Someone had to patch you up after you staggered out of making those wear, though. So, you're welcome.
I didn't realize. Thank you.
Yeah, well, you can pay me back by fixing the world. Name's Zidane. I'm in charge of keeping our little band here stocked with potions and elixirs. Not that Seeker Pentagast seems to care whether we've got the supplies to actually do that.
For a healer, you don't seem particularly nurturing.
I'm not a healer. I'm an alchemist who's forced to play Mother Hen. You want something to burst into flame on contact with the air? Done. Gladly. Patching up wounded soldiers is a waste of my time and talents. But there are a few around who can help.
How are your people holding up?
There's no shortage of work. That's for damn sure.
Is there anything I can do to help out?
We're fine as far as raw labor goes. You've more important things to do than tend to me. I only wish I'd been able to find Master Tajin's notes. Old bastard was working on something special. He died at the Conclave, and his notes weren't here. Been too busy dealing with the wounded to look for them.
How do I go about having potions made?
Just take a look there and tell me what you'd like. Find a recipe for something better, I can make that too.
Don't have any tonics. Note.
Just right.
The chosen of Andraste, a blessed hero sent to save us all.
I've no interest in being a hero. All I want is to find a way to seal this breach.
Pragmatic, but ultimately irrelevant. I've journeyed deep into the Fade in ancient ruins and battlefields to see the dreams of lost civilizations. I've watched as hosts of spirits clash to reenact the bloody past in ancient wars, both famous and forgotten. Every great war has its heroes. I'm just curious what kind you'll be.
What do you mean, ruins and battlefields?
Any building strong enough to withstand the rigors of time has a history. Every battlefield is steeped in death. Both attract spirits. They press against the veil, weakening the barrier between our worlds. When I dream in such places, I go deep into the Fade. I can find memories no other living being has ever seen.
You fall asleep in the middle of ancient ruins? Isn't that dangerous?
I do set wards. And if you leave food out for the giant spiders, they are usually content to live and let live.
I've never heard of anyone going so far into the Fade. That's extraordinary.
Thank you. It's not a common field of study for obvious reasons. Not so flashy as throwing fire or lightning. The thrill of finding remnants of a 1,000-year-old dream? I would not trade it for anything. I will stay there. At least until the breach has been closed.
Was that in doubt?
I am an apostate surrounded by Chantry forces in the middle of a mage rebellion. Cassandra has been accommodating, but you understand my caution.
The giant hole in the sky trumps any other concerns. We can worry about the rest later.
Yes. Who can say what this world will look like when we are done fighting for it? But now let us hope either the mages or the Templars have the power to seal the breach.
Speak only the word. Sing only the charm. Still got demons pouring out of the rift.
This week is going to be in F8.
See reason. We cannot stay here. Why not?
Okay, that iron's restocked, which I suppose is handy. I'm just trying to ask, figure out where the hell are these notes? I think they'd be in the building. There we go. Okay, so I had to keep doing sonar pings till I got to it. Alright, that makes more sense. Randy Dowager Quarterly. The Randy Dowager welcomes the cool autumn with the fall of the collected dreams desire being the confessions of an apprentice training more furrowing than harrowing, the forbidden dalliances of the most spirited. The Randy Dowager, exhibitions for the noble thought but surprise step. The lady herself says enchanting, one supports the circles. If only because closed doors offer the imagination more. 3 scars lettered and shock out of 5. RD.
Yes.
You're back. And in one piece.
You said you thought Master Tajin was working on something special. If it helps, I found his notes.
The old codger was on the edge of a breakthrough here, but he couldn't see it. You want some of these mixed up? You just give the word.
Farewell.
Okay. Back to my journal. So all it brings down is the main story quest, and we're going to call it here for the night. Because fuck you, daylight savings time. It is almost 5 o'clock in the morning. So do a hard save. This is where we're gonna call it good.